everybody. Welcome to my second installment of Vince Russo Puts Over. Thank you very much. Now, you couldn't possibly have thought that I was going to put over the road dog Jesse James and not his partner in crime, the Bad Ass Billy Gunn. And I am talking about Kip Sopp, because it took two individuals to make a great team. One was the yin to the other guy's yang. That's why this team worked. Road Dogg was the guy on the mic, and Billy was the guy in the ring. Now, they both could talk and they both could work, but I think Road Dogg's strength was his mic skills, and I think Billy's strength was his ring work. But what's always going to stand out? The mic work is always going to stand out before the ring work all the time. But Billy was the workhorse of that group. And I admire Billy Gunn, Kip Sopp very, very, very much. And I'm going to tell you why. Kip Sopp was the greatest athlete that I ever worked with in the wrestling business. Kip Sopp was what you would call a blue chip athlete. Whether he was in a wrestling ring, put a bat in his hand, bro, put a football under his arm, put him on a basketball court where he excelled. Bro, hell, throw a pair of skates on him. Billy Gunn, Kip Sopp was a blue chip athlete, and I believe the greatest athlete that I ever worked with. And dare I say, to this day, turn on any episode of AEW, see Billy Gunn. You will see the type of condition this man is in today. Unbelievable. Because when you're around the business, you know what discipline I'm talking about. The working out, the dieting, the cardio, the eating right, the staying in shape. This is a level of discipline that very few of us have. This right here, this guy, blue chip athlete, great athlete. I loved working with Billy. And, you know, I've said this about a lot of guys. This guy, if anybody deserved to walk around with a chip on his shoulder, it would be this guy. Look at this guy. Who wouldn't want to be this guy? If anybody had the right to walk around with a chip on his shoulder, it would be this guy, but he never did. Billy never had a chip on his shoulder, ever. And that's what I always admired about him. He was always a gentleman, always treated me with respect. And that's why I will never forget this one story concerning Billy. I remember one TV, I was not having a good day. And I'll tell you why, bro. Shawn Michaels was not active at the time. Shawn did show up at a TV taping. And at the TV taping, Shawn was stirring the poo-poo. It got to me. And it upset me because it changed some of our booking when Shawn was getting in some other people's ears. And I'll never forget, I got in an argument with DX. And in the heat of it, I will never forget, I told this guy, Billy Gunn, F you, Billy. Bro, I never, ever, ever use those words to any talent before or after. And as soon as those words came out of my mouth, I realized, what did you just do? But it was too late because the words had come out of my mouth. And I remember immediately Road Dogg got in my face and read me the riot act and said, don't you ever, ever speak to one of us that way. And he was right. And I knew he was right. And I was ashamed. And I apologized to this guy because of all the guys I should have said that to. It shouldn't have been this guy. Because this guy, Billy, was always, always, always a class act, always a class act to me. It was a terrible moment and a moment that I'm not proud of. Obviously, I apologize to Billy afterwards, but I got to tell you something about Billy Gunn that a lot of people don't know. Later on, when I went to work for TNA, and Billy was working for us as well because he lived in Florida and he was doing a lot of things. He was working, he was being an agent, he was working behind the scenes. We decided to put Billy with the beautiful people. And guys, I have to tell you, I used to watch Billy working with Angelina and Velvet. And Billy took these two women under his arm and was passing along all the wisdom and the knowledge of the professional wrestling business that was passed along to him. And he was teaching these women day in and day out. And I watched this from a distance, even though he may not know how I had been watching. And it blew me away. It blew me away because if you know anything about professional wrestling, you know ego supersedes all. But here was Billy Gunn, a man with a great career, a bona fide superstar, a blue chipper. Bro, the guy was in the rodeo, for crying out loud. In the rodeo. Do you understand that, bro? Taking down Brahma bulls, whatever he was doing. This is a man's man. And this man's man, he had no ego when it came to working with two young ladies. And he took the beautiful people, Angelina and Velvet, and he took them to that next level. And I'm sure Billy is doing the same thing at AEW today. With his own kids, mind you, but also with those young people on the roster and young people on the roster at AEW. I don't know you. You don't know me. You may hate me, but you want to listen to these words. Listen to this guy. This guy is the real deal. This guy is a superstar, both in and outside of the ring. Kip Sopp, from Vince Russo to you. Thank you, thank you, thank you, my friend. God bless. I'll see you next time.